Welcome to Elon Local News, Elon's news leader. Whenever you're behind the wheel, chances are you've seen another driver texting. But what does North Carolina law say about texting and driving? We'll have that story coming up.
A rich history. We'll take you to Raleigh inside a chocolate factory that has a sweet spot in the community.
Finishing out our show tonight, we trade in our dress shoes for sneakers and head to the intramural fields for Sports Fest. Team ELN sees if we have what it takes to be athletes instead of journalists.
All that and more starting right now on Elon Local News.
We start tonight with an in-studio interview on the ongoing situation in Ferguson, Missouri. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Stutz.
And I'm Justin Beagle.
This week, the Truett Center and the Multicultural Center are holding a prayer and worship for racial reconciliation event Wednesday at 7 p.m. in the Newman Lumen Center to continue the campus-wide discussion.
Elon Jr. Mia Watkins joins us in the studio to give her personal connection to this story. Mia calls Ferguson home and was a student speaker at last week's Lessons Within Ferguson event.
Hey Mia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here.
So what kind of feedback have you received since you last spoke at the panel?
I've received various amounts of feedback. Some students have come to me saying, thank you for saying what you said. It was really important. And I've had other students come to me and talk about their opinions on just racial relations in general and how they feel about the situation. And so it's interesting to get those answers and feedback from all kinds of areas and backgrounds from different people.
All right, what's your message to these students here at Elon?
My message is just to look at Ferguson and look at what we can do to move forward in a more positive notion. What do we need to do as a student body, as this generation, to make sure that something like Ferguson doesn't happen in our community or in other people's communities all around the United States or the country, since Elon is a community where we're all connected to everyone around the world.
All right, thank you very much, Mia. Now, Elon spoke to President Lambert to get his take on having more campus-wide discussions like the Lessons in Ferguson event.
Universities have to be places where civil and civic dialogue about really tough subjects like race can be held. Really respectful and bright community of people that want to do the right thing.
And Elon Jr. is still in Alamance County Jail after being arrested Saturday afternoon. According to Elon police, Andrew John Min is charged with possession, intent to sell and deliver, maintaining a dwelling, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Police say more than $1,200 worth of marijuana was found in Min's apartment, Oak Hill K. His bond is set at $85,000.
Texting and driving. It's something many college students are guilty of doing every day. But here in Alamance County, there's a fine line between what you can do in a car while on the phone and what you can't. Our Gary Grumbeck is outside with more. Gary?
Thanks, Justin. Whenever you're in the driver's seat, your eyes should be focused on the road in front of you and not the phone that may be in your hand. I looked into the enforcement of texting and driving here in the town of Elon.
You've probably seen the ads. But in North Carolina, the texting and driving law is a little complicated.
It's not an easy thing to enforce.
Enacted in late 2009, the NC texting and driving law says you may not manually enter text in a phone as a means of communication or read any electronic mail or messages. Police Chief Cliff Parker says what you can do while driving makes it hard for officers to crack down on what you can't.
You're allowed to use a cell phone, make a call, receive a call, check GPS, look at caller ID. So those are issues that limit the ability to always find this.
According to police, the town of Elon has only given out 5 citations since the law was put into place. In an ELN SurveyMonkey completed by 100 Elon students, 71% said they text and drive occasionally or every time they're in the car. 36% said they had been texting and driving the same week they took the ELN survey.
It happens every day. People get into their car, turn on the ignition, and check their phone for texts. But they might forget that this simple act could kill them.
We don't want a split second of a poor choice to just be distracted lead to some type of lifetime of heartache.
And this isn't just a problem within the bubble. According to the National Safety Council, an estimated 1.6 million crashes each year involve drivers using cell phones and texting.
To Chief Parker, he urged drivers to use voice-activated technology if they have to talk on the phone while driving, and to be more focused on the road when driving around campus. In downtown Elon, I'm Gary Grumbach, Elon Local News.
Thanks, Gary. 336. You know these familiar numbers as the area code for the triad, but soon this will change. The code, which applies to areas such as Elon, Burlington, and Greensboro, may expire as early as spring of 2016. The North Carolina Utilities Commission in Raleigh says the 336 code will become 743, making this the third area code overlay in North Carolina, following the Charlotte and Raleigh areas. If you have a 336 number, don't worry. This change only applies to new numbers. Since there are now 2 local area codes for this region, the North Carolina Utilities Commission says when making local calls, you'll need to use all 10 digits of a phone number.
Elon Town Police are still working to locate an Elon student's car after it was stolen from the Sheridan Place townhomes Tuesday night. According to town police, the car has now been registered into a national database, which means any police officer, even out-of-state policeman, can call on the vehicle. Police say they have searched the town of Elon with no sighting of the missing car so far. Elon PD estimates only 3 motor vehicles have been stolen in Elon during the last 15 years. We spoke with Lieutenant Sweat of the town of Elon Police Department for some simple but useful tips to keep students and their cars safe.
Keep the vehicles locked, keep it in a lit area. If you park in a dark area, it's going to make it easier for them to break into your car and steal it. But I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of times it's, keeping your things locked up.
Parking spaces on campus might already seem limited, and now parking times just got shorter. The Elon Board of Aldermen met on Tuesday and voted in favor of changing the parking along South Lebanon Avenue by Acorn Coffee Shop from 2-hour to 1-hour parking. Along with the time change, the Board of Aldermen voted to increase parking fees from $10 to $25. So if your on-campus class is more than an hour long, it might be a good idea to find a different place to park.
And there is one option you might not realize your car qualifies for. You've seen the LEV or low emission vehicle stickers on cars around campus, but did you know nearly 2,000 car models meet the requirements for those decals, according to Elon's sustainability website. From a Toyota Prius to a Ford Focus to a Honda Accord, your car model might be on the list. Elon offers preferred parking for students and faculty who drive LEV cars. And if your car makes the carbon cut, during school hours you can park in the back of the Colonnades lot, close enough to walk to your classes in KOBC.
But what if you don't have a car? Dean of Student Life Smith Jackson sent an email about the different transportation options to get you to and from campus. Here in the studio is our Jasmine Turner to give you more insight on the best Elon travel options. Hey, Jasmine.
Thanks, Meredith. Now, everyone knows the BioBus. There are stops at most on and off-campus apartments from the Danley Center Tram, West Line, Outer Loops A and B, and University Drive line. And with the new Psychology and Human Service Studies building on South Campus, the university just launched the South Campus Express. There are multiple bus schedules and routes that can be found online. And the best part about riding the BioBus, it's free. But what do you do once the BioBus stops running for the day? Call eRides. They will take you from any on-campus location to an off-campus residence within a 10-minute walk. Cars run from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Monday through Thursday, and on Fridays from 7 to 10 at night. To schedule one, just call campus security and eRides will come get you. And if you don't want to call a ride or take the bus, you still have the opportunity to drive. Elon has Enterprise Car Share, a program that allows you to sign up for a $35 a year membership. And whenever you want to drive, you just make a reservation online. You pay $8 an hour every time you use the car, and gas is already included. So even without a car on campus, there are many ways to get you from point A to point B.
Thanks, Jasmine. We brought you the update last week on Elon's newest initiatives to help prevent sexual assault. At NC State University, 4 students are taking a hands-on approach to help stop sexual violence. It's called Undercover Colors and is raising funds online and through social media. The developers are a group of male undergraduate engineering students who say the nail polish changes colors when it comes in contact with date-rape drugs. The purpose of the nail polish is to help prevent sexual assault, yet the product has received some backlash. Some online critics say nail polish implies that sexual assault is only an issue faced by women. Senior Rachel Charlene, a member of Elon Feminists, says the discussion on sexual assault has to go past prevention products.
I don't think that critiquing the products means that there should be no more people trying to invent products to help prevent sexual assaults. But I definitely think that we can't stop there. I think if we're going to create these products, we also need to be giving just as much media attention to schools that are doing something to stop sexual assault.
In just the past year, Elon has doubled its ratings in the Campus Pride National Index, meaning Elon has become more inclusive for the LGBTQIA community. The index gave the university 2 out of 5 stars last year, but now Elon has received 4.5 stars. Some of the factors included in the Pride Index are LGBTQ policy inclusion, student life and counseling, and health.
The Ebola epidemic in West Africa has forced changes to study abroad programs this winter term. According to the Isabella Cannon Center, one of the Ghana trips has been rerouted to Ethiopia and Tanzania for 2015, while the other has been postponed until 2016 as the Global Education Center monitors the situation through the U.S. State Department. According to the World Health Organization, the Ebola outbreak could exceed 20,000 cases. Elon University physician Jeanette Archnell says canceling the trips was a good call.
And while the risks would have been extremely low, some things really aren't worth taking any risk at all. And that's really what it was about. It wasn't, would somebody bring something back here, but, why would we send somebody in harm's way if we don't have to?
Coming up, want to make a connection? We'll introduce you to someone with insider tips for your LinkedIn page.
Later in the show, we'll take you inside one of the sweetest places in the state capitol.
You've seen the invites to connect in on your inbox. I'd like to add you to my professional network. But how do you create that professional network? Our Corey Shegda is in the newsroom with more. Hey, Corey.
Nowadays, it seems like everybody has a LinkedIn account. You can see mine right here. It's the kind of social media that shows potential employers your professional side. And I spoke to one student who's making a business out of it.
We came together and make the perfect team.
Elon sophomore Sophie Pearson and cousin Natalie Ford have started a new business this summer called LinkedIn Experts.
Our services right now are LinkedIn brush touch-ups. Like if you just want us to take a look at it and see what we can help you fix or improve on your profile, we can help you with the whole thing.
They have been working on their business plan for about 3 months and hope to get the word out in the upcoming week.
Right now we've just been practicing making awesome profiles, so we've been doing research, what makes an awesome headline, what goes into a great summary.
And Pearson really believes it is important to know what to put on a LinkedIn account.
You don't want to hire someone who's lame on every social media site. When we're college students, we should be pros at social media.
Pearson charges up to $200 for a new LinkedIn page. But with this high price comes benefits like consultations with business professionals and business coaches, which she says will help separate your page from your peers.
You need to have that competitive edge over some other people who are also going after the same jobs and internships.
And she has some free advice for students.
Make it engaging, make it professional, no Facebook selfies in your car as your profile picture, and make it awesome, make it you.
Corey Shegda, Elon Local
So
News.
why is LinkedIn so important? According to LinkedIn, 43% of employers are checking candidates online. 33% said that they found content that made them more likely to hire a candidate. Meredith and Justin, back to you.
Thanks, Corin. If you love Instagram as much as I do, you're going to love this new app that incorporates video. The masterminds behind the photo sharing network have a new application called Hyperlapse that allows users to take videos and convert them into time lapses. As you can see here, I can quickly give you a tour of campus with just a tap on my phone. Hyperlapse can speed video up 12 times faster.
Elon students are known for having busy schedules, and this Friday the organization fair gives you the opportunity to get even more involved. Here to give you some tips on keeping track of your busy schedule is our Mackenzie Murray.
Thanks, Justin and Meredith.
First, write everything down. Yes, that means using a piece of paper and a pencil instead of your iPhone. When you physically write things down, you're more likely to remember them. With all the cute options to keep track of your schedule with, like the Lily Pulitzer planner I own, why not? And boys, if Lily isn't your thing, I promise there are more masculine options for you. Second, if technology really is more your style, try using the Homework app. This is a calendar just for your schoolwork. It will help you balance your extracurriculars and your homework. All you have to do is enter your class information or assignments and it will remind you of important deadlines. With everything going on in your college life, this simple reminder will come in handy. Lastly, prioritize. There will come a time when even though all of your meetings and due dates are recorded in your planner or on your iPhone, things will overlap. To help avoid some tough decision making, make a list now of all the things you are involved in and rank them by order of importance. Later down the line, when you get stuck in a jam and are just too busy, refer to that list and decide what move to make next. So, when you are signing up for all the exciting yet time-consuming organizations this Friday, remember to keep these tips in mind. Back to you, Justin and Meredith.
I've got your golden ticket for a behind-the-scenes look at Raleigh's sweetest spot.
And rounding out our broadcast tonight, we're headed to the field to see our news team's athletic abilities in Sports Fest. You don't want to miss out. Nothing quite says college cooking like ramen noodles. And though this salty treat may be delicious, most students probably don't realize the long-term trouble that it can cause. A new 2-year survey of nearly 11,000 people from the Journal of Nutrition shows that eating more than one serving of ramen noodles a week can lead to a higher chance of developing heart disease, diabetes, and stroke. While this study might sound obvious, once you look at the sodium content from one portion, about 875 milligrams according to the USDA, it's something for college students to keep in mind when they're planning their next meal.
And if you're a chocolate lover like me, you may want to head down I-40 to find out how the sweet treat is made. Our Ashley McGettrick has more.
So it turns out that Candyland is not that far away after all. It's only 30 to 40 minutes from campus right here in Raleigh.
The name Videri comes from the North Carolina state motto, which is Esse quam videri, Latin for to be rather than to seem. And that's just our whole philosophy of being open and transparent. You can see the chocolate being made.
Videri shows its North Carolina pride with more than just its name.
To work with a lot of local farm-to-table restaurants and deal with other farmers.
Even the building itself takes a page out of North Carolina's state history book.
We are located in the depot. It was built in 1912, so over 100 years old. It's a beautiful setting for the factory. It really sets the tone. But it was the original depot for the train station.
The chocolate making process starts with a coincidental homage to the factory's past. So what are we standing in front of? This looks like a mini choo-choo train.
Yep, this is our chocolate train. No, it's this is where we roast the cocoa beans.
While beans turn into chocolate, downtown Raleigh is turning into a bit of a tourist hotspot.
So I've lived in Raleigh my whole life, and growing up in this area, there was nothing downtown. And so to watch the rapid change in the development and all of the neat businesses that are coming to downtown because they want to be downtown Raleigh, it's just been incredible.
And I couldn't leave Raleigh without seeing if Videri's chocolate is as rich as its history.
This chocolate is untempered chocolate.
You don't take meal plan, do you? Okay, nope. Ashley McGettrick, Elon Local News. Oh my God.
You can find out more about Ashley's trip to Videri tomorrow on ELN Morning at 9:50.
If you were walking through Mosley earlier today, you probably saw some unusually long lines. And no, it wasn't for Lakeside Dining Hall. Beginning today, upperclassmen could pick up new Phoenix cards at the Mosley Center. The new cards are installed with both tap and swipe technology, as card readers will be updated over the next few years. If you have yet to pick up your new Phoenix cards, you can stop by Mosley first floor any day this week from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
President Lambert is known for saying, "You may leave Elon, but Elon will never leave you." But some members of the class of 2014 have decided to stick around campus, making the transition from student to staff. You might see some familiar faces from last year's graduating class anywhere from the admissions office to the Newman Lumen Pavilion. Overall, according to the alumni engagement, more than 100 staff members are former Elon students. And one of the hardest parts of working as an Elon alum is making the transition from a classmate to a boss.
Some of my best friends are still at school here, but I have a very different role now. And I spent a lot of time before students got here kind of just worrying about what that would be like. And now they're here, and so it's a little easier to kind of feel it out as it goes.
But the class of 2014 aren't the only familiar Elon alums you might know. Probably the most well-known Elon alum turned employee is Dr. Earl Daniely, who graduated in 1946. To see more recent grads who work at Elon, be sure to check out elonlocalnews.com later this week.
I'm Andrew Feather here for sports. After the break, watch as ELN suits up for an annual Elon tradition as we pull out the playbooks and take on Sports Fest. Falling flat in its season openers, and this weekend was no different. Elon has not won a Week 1 game since 2009, and the Phoenix have been outscored 184-13 when you combine the last 3 openers. The most recent blowout came Saturday evening at the hands of the 2013 ACC runner-up Duke. It wasn't exactly how head coach Rick Skrosky wished to begin his return to the Phoenix. Elon's defense surrendered 7 touchdowns in a 52-13 rout by the Blue Devils, while managing only 328 yards of total offense, something Coach Skrosky plans to address in the bye week.
Should have been closer than what it was, and I think just too many of our errors were self-inflicted on both sides of the ball. So I thought we missed some turnover opportunities. And then on offense, we had too many drops and a little bit too much pressure on the quarterback.
And here's a fun fact. The last time Elon scored a touchdown against an ACC school was in 2010 against Duke. At that time, Coach Skrosky was the offensive coordinator here at Elon, and the Phoenix were in the midst of their 4th straight winning season. Elon will pick things up in 2 weeks on September 13th from Rhodes Stadium in their home opener against North Carolina A&T. Rich Skrosky wasn't the only one to make his Elon coaching debut this weekend. On Saturday, Nick Polk appeared for the first time in maroon and gold as the new head coach of Elon Cross Country. The Phoenix hosted former Southern Conference foe UNC Greensboro in a dual meet. Polk's team ran away with the competition for an Elon victory. The team will be back in action on September 13th for the annual Elon Invitational. The ELN sports team can talk all day about Elon athletics, but we decided to put our money where our mouths are and take to the field for Elon's annual Sports Fest. This year, myself and ELN sports director Justin Beagle captained the Elon local news team, and we went out with one goal, not to finish last. More than 80 teams brought their A game to the intramural fields Friday afternoon for Sports Fest, including ELN.
Let's go out here, let's kick some butt, let's not fall in the pool, and let's show these people that we are legitimate athletes. We do the news and we do sports, okay?
We had 6 rounds of intense physical activity to make it through. Our first event, the relay race. After a strong start, Team ELN came across some trouble.
We definitely lost because of me, but I think they still like me, I hope.
Not the best of starts, but we looked to redeem ourselves in a fierce competition we dominated last year, the sponge race. We came out with a W and let the rest of the teams know we were in it to win it.
Tommy, ELN just won first place in the sponge race. You scared now?
No.
We're coming after you. You know that, right?
I'm really not worried about it.
One person on the field but not on the ELN roster was our own Jacob LaPlante. This turned out to be a big mistake.
I think we're leaving because we haven't won anything and we're like halfway through the day.
As the afternoon went on, the fatigue set in and we suffered our first casualty in the sack race. The team pulled through in tug of war and the trolley race to finish the day. And then the moment we were all waiting for.
Elon Local News!
Team ELN finished 19th, good enough to win t-shirts, but we got some advice for next year.
Go to Campus Rec, possibly get a personal trainer, or at least use the equipment and get a little bit more fit.
You may have seen a few of us wearing ELN morning shirts at Sports Fest. You can catch more coverage of the event tomorrow morning at 9:50 in our first ELN morning broadcast of the year. That's all for sports tonight. Back to you, Justin and Meredith.
Thanks, Andrew. Just so you know, I'm still bitter about that, and my ribs are still bruised. Well, that's all we have for you tonight.
But our Ashley McGettrick and Paige Peroso will be here tomorrow morning to wake you all up with the news you need to know. ELN Morning is coming to you live during College Coffee.
For your campus news throughout the week, be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
We're always online at elonlocalnews.com. Have a great night, Elon.